What are arbitrary trademarks? Let's get started. Arbitrary trademarks are common dictionary words that are unrelated to the goods or services sold under the trademark. Think of Apple for computers or Shell for gasoline. Both terms have common dictionary meanings, but that meaning is unrelated to the goods or services provided. Other types include fanciful or coined, suggestive, merely descriptive, and generic trademarks. Hi, my name is Ahad Syed. I'm the managing attorney at Syed Law, and today we will be discussing arbitrary trademarks. So what are some examples of arbitrary trademarks? Below, I've listed several trademarks that are arbitrary. For example, Apple for computer products, Banana Republic for clothing, Coach for purses, Shell for retail gasoline services, Orange for telecommunications, Old Crow for whiskey, and Python for computer software. What are the strengths of arbitrary trademarks? Arbitrary trademarks are as strong as fanciful trademarks. Generally, arbitrary trademarks and fanciful trademarks tie for strength, and in terms of ascending order from weakest to strongest, it goes like generic, merely descriptive, suggestive, and arbitrary and fanciful tie at the very top. What are some issues that arbitrary trademarks face? So some common issues that arbitrary trademarks might face is when you see something like Apple, we know that stands for computer products and services. However, this would not be so obvious when, let's say in the 1970s, Steve Jobs founded Apple. It took considerable marketing effort to bridge the gap between the common dictionary word Apple and consumer and electronic goods. This principle applies to other brands made from common words that are now synonymous with goods and or services, like Coach for purses. So let me pause here for a second and ask that if you like this video, please hit that like and subscribe button. It helps me to create more content for viewers like you. Now, on to the rest of the video. Comparison to other trademark types. So let's start with the strongest trademarks and work our way to the bottom. Fanciful or coined trademarks. Fanciful or coined trademark is a word made up in order to serve as a trademark. As explained before, arbitrary marks tie for strength with fanciful trademarks. However, the two differ in the sense that arbitrary trademarks are found in the common language, while fanciful trademarks are not. For instance, the founder of Rolex created the trademark because it was short, easy to say, and remember in any language. Suggestive trademarks. Suggestive trademarks are moderately strong, but not as strong as arbitrary or fanciful trademarks. Brands bearing suggestive marks refer to some characteristic of the goods, but requires a leap of the imagination to get from the mark to the product. Think about Jaguar. What do you sense when you see that word? Most people would say they imagine a fast feline predator. Merely descriptive. A merely descriptive trademark describes an ingredient, quality, characteristic, function, purpose, or use of the specified goods or services. Merely descriptive trademarks are inherently weak because purchasers can easily guess the goods or services sold under the trademark. Examples include Best Herbal Tea Shop for herbal tea, Really Smooth Machinery for welding equipment, Austin Software Corp for software services. In all the above, the trademarks describe a certain quality or characteristic of the service or good. In addition, merely descriptive trademarks may require a disclaimer, which means that the owner cannot hold exclusive ownership over the disclaimed portion. For instance, in the above examples, the word tea shop and software corp are descriptive and require a disclaimer because they describe the goods or services provided. Generic words. In contrast, generic words cannot serve as trademarks. That's because trademarks are unique source identifiers that are distinct and require the ability to distinguish between two or more sets of words. Examples of generic words that cannot be trademarks include laundromat for dry cleaning services or auto body for automobile mechanic services, assuming that that is all the trademark has. Why should you choose an arbitrary trademark? In brief, there are 3 reasons why. 1, they're easier to remember than fanciful marks. 2, they're less likely to face genericide. 3, they will have secondary meaning. So as we explained before, arbitrary trademarks carry a dictionary definition and are common words. As such, an entrepreneur starting a business will need to expend less effort to market an arbitrary mark versus a completely made up fanciful trademark. For example, it is easy for a business owner to sell products under a common word like Apple than a made up word like EPPLA, which is Apple spelled backwards, which is much harder to remember. In addition, an arbitrary trademark is less likely to suffer from genericide. Words like aspirin, linoleum, and kerosene were once trademarks, but through overuse fell to genericide. In short, common use turned these marks into dictionary words. Velcro is itself fighting a funny campaign against genericide at the current moment. However, any arbitrary mark is a dictionary word, so it cleverly sidesteps the possibility of genericide. In fact, the only way an arbitrary mark could suffer from genericide is if the older dictionary definition is abandoned. Finally, you may consider an arbitrary trademark because it carries a secondary meaning. In order to receive trademark protection, a trademark must connect to a good or service, and not simply its dictionary definition. For example, a python is a snake species living in the tropics. In addition, it is also the name of a leading software programming language. In contrast, think of clean, soft soap. While it is easy to understand its definition, it is very difficult to connect it to a specific product or service. Reasons to avoid arbitrary trademarks. On the other hand, you may want to avoid arbitrary trademarks if you are concerned about the time and energy required to create the mental link between a word and your goods and or services. For instance, it took Steve Jobs a lot more marketing elbow grease to promote Apple for computer products than it took Elon Musk to promote the Boring Company. Boring is the process of creating holes. How to choose an arbitrary trademark. Putting the effort into selecting the right name can pay dividends in the long run. Picking any common word is not a good idea, and it can help avoid conflict to conduct a search first. At the time of writing, the USPTO trademark registry is saturated with common words. Putting in effort to think of a creative word for your brand is a wise investment. However, that does not mean you should pick a word that has nothing to do with your goods or services. Ideally, you want to convey a feeling or evoke an emotional response from your clients. An investment firm may use the brand BlackRock to convey a sense of stability, or an entertainment company may use the term Blizzard to create an emotion. Both are successful brands. You want to stand out from your competition, but not cause consumers to walk away from your products or services. This is where cited law can help you get registered and go from TM to a registered trademark. We can conduct a search for your arbitrary mark so you can make the right selection. Drop us a message here or book a free consultation in the link in the description below. Thank you so much, and I will see you guys next time.